Hi, welcome. My name is Fran, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a workflow automation in GetResponse. Now, before we start, I want to talk a little bit about email automation. Most people, when they start collecting email subscribers, and I was one of them, they don't start emailing them straight away. You don't need to sit on your computer and email your subscribers every day, because every time somebody subscribes, they should start receiving automated messages from you. That's where automations come in, and that's how they help you. You can create a whole month of emails going out to your list automatically, and you can create conditions. So let's see how this works in GetResponse. I know most people using GetResponse don't use the automations the way I do. I think I have simplified the process quite a lot. So if you want to try my way, I'm going to show you how I do it, and I'm going to show you how easy it can be. Instead of starting everything with an automation, I start with autoresponders. I have another video about autoresponders, how to create an autoresponder, which is quite a simple process. You can find that video in my channel, and I might link for it. I might link to it right somewhere in this video. So what I do is I'm going to give you the example of this autoresponder sequence. For each campaign that I have, I create a list, and for that list, I create an autoresponder sequence, because the welcome sequence I always want people to receive. There is no condition there. As soon as they subscribe to that list, they will receive that welcome sequence. So in this case, for example, this is a list I've created that when people subscribe to it, they will receive this message on day 0, this message on day 1, this message on day 2, and this message on day 3. Simultaneously, when they subscribe to this list, they will be moved to this list and receive this same automation. So let's move into GetResponse automations, and I'll show you how this works. Like I said, most people do this differently. I think I have simplified the process quite a lot. What they do is they create automation messages, and then they deliver them from here. And now when we create the workflow, you will see how this works. All right, so as you can see, I have here build-a-preneur to create and earn. This is the automation I create to move people from one list to the other. So people who subscribe to this list, they will be assigned this tag, so I know why they came into my email list, and they will be copied to this list. What people usually do is they receive people in an automation, and then they will say, all right, person subscribed, and I will send them straight away a message, and then they will get this message from the drafts, and they will send them this message, and then they will say, okay, now wait for 1 day, and then send them another message. My autoresponders are already going in day 1, in day 2, in day 3, or immediately. So I simplify my automations with this process. What I do is I move them through lists. So in this case, what happens here? The person gets copied to this list because I want them to start receiving the welcome automation straight away. The general welcome automation that I have, it's just those 3 simple emails I showed you. Everybody that subscribes to my lists, or most of the times they receive these welcome emails. It's just telling them who I am and what they can expect from these emails. In this case, if they open this message is not in an automation. This message is in an autoresponder, like I explained to you. But you can still as you can see here, but you can still condition it here. You can give it a basic condition of a message of link clicked or message opened. Usually people do this with the message that is in the automation, but you can do it here. You just choose the message you want. Which message you open do you want to track? All right, I want to track the autoresponder, a specific one, and then you just choose the one, which is what I did here. When somebody opens this email, they can still click or not click. If they click, they get tagged with this tag. If they don't click, they move to the next one, which is the sequence of 4 emails. They can still click on the second one and go here. They can still click on the third one and go here, or they can still click on the 4th one and be moved here. So Basically what this automation does is tagging people as somebody who opens or doesn't open the messages, somebody who clicks and is interested in what I offered, but maybe they didn't purchase yet. Or if it's just content, then it gives me information about that person. And I can later use this information in other workflows, in other automations, to send them email messages specifically to what they're interested in. So this is a very simple automation, as you can see. So this is just an example. Now I'm going to show you how you can create your own workflow automation. Like everything in GetResponse, you can start from templates or you can start from scratch. For me, I always start from scratch because I know exactly what I want to do with my subscribers. So let's start from scratch here. Now, give it a name, and it's important that you identify exactly what you want this to do. Automations can expire as well if you want them just for some newsletters or just for some broadcasts or something. So we want this process to start. They give you straight away here this wizard to start with, but it doesn't matter. You can just delete it later if you don't want it. So I'll just want them to when they subscribe. So let's say they subscribe to any list. We're going to change this to a specific list. You don't want to mix everything up most of the times. So let's find our GetResponse YouTube tutorial. There it is. And for now, we want it with any method. You can choose how they come in from. If they come from a landing page, if they come from an API, wherever they come from a survey, from a webinar. For me, if they come to this email list, any method is fine. You can choose colors for this. I usually don't use the colors, but it helps you identify what it's doing. Okay, so if they subscribe here, I want them to be copied. This is how I always do. Copied to my create and earn list. This is the first thing. No, sorry. The first thing I'm going to do is tag them, because I want to know who they are and why they came into my list. If you have more than one campaign in your list, it's always important to tag them. So you go here to basic actions and you assign a tag. You can create a new tag. If you shouldn't have any if you're starting your first automation. So let's say these people come into the GetResponse YouTube tutorial, so they are interested in GetResponse. So I'll call them like this, and I know where they came from. That's what matters. It's that it identifies. I can later use these tags to move people into different workflows, or to tag or to identify them in workflows. I could, for example, I'm going to show you straight away so you can understand what the tag is doing. So we'll assign this tag, and let's say if I wanted to find somebody and send them a message, I can say condition if tag. So I would find the tag GetResponse, and I would just send them a message if they have this tag. If they don't have this tag and they have another tag, I can move them somewhere else or send them another message, for example. So that's what the tag is doing. That's why I tag everybody that comes in. I receive them in different lists. In each campaign I have has a different list, and I tag them, I identify them with that list and with that campaign. Initially, I copy, I don't move them, because I want to keep them in this list until the automation process is finished. So what I do here is I will copy them to my create and earn list, which is my main list, which is the list I use to send my broadcast messages to my subscribers. So now, for example, if I want to tell people, hey, listen, I just created this video that might be interesting for you, and it's something that all my subscribers would be interested in, I would send them to this list. I don't send it to all the lists. And that's how we separate the interest of the subscribers. You just you'll connect one to the other, and we're going to add another element. Now what we want to do is, like I showed you before, we want to see if the people receiving the entering this list are opening or not opening the welcome message. For me, this is one of the most important things. People usually just build their lists and the people come into their lists, but they never take them out unless they unsubscribe. I think that us unsubscribing them is extremely important, because if you start landing in somebody's spam folder, it's very unlikely you're coming out. Or if somebody doesn't open your email messages, you're going to start to go to the email folder, because their email provider will start filtering you that way, and this is going to damage your deliverability a lot. So what I do usually is, if people don't open any of my welcome emails, any of my initial automations, I instantly move them to a separate list that doesn't receive, to whom I don't send messages usually, but it has an automation, it has a sequence of emails specifically for trying to re-engage them. If I cannot get them to open any of these messages, I unsubscribe them myself. So here I've copied them to this list, and now I want to identify if what they did with the initial automation that I had here. Actually, I want to show you this this process visually. Okay, so here are the autoresponders we created. This one is going on day 0 and this immediately, and this one is going on day 1. This could be as long as I wanted to. And it could wait 1 day, it could not be sent on weekends, as you've seen, or you can see in my other tutorial. So once they enter here, they start to receive that automation. Now let's see. We want to see if they open the messages. So we'll put here. This is going to check. This is going to check if they open their autoresponders, our autoresponders. So our welcome message. Let's say specifically, I want to know if they opened this message. Did they open it? Let's link it together. We always have to link the elements together or they won't connect. Did they open it? If they did, here it is, tags and scoring. So I want to tag them and I want to assign. As you can see, you can also remove a tag. All right, so I want to assign the tag opens. Why not? Or I don't have to assign the tag yet if I want to condition them even more. And usually what I do is I want to identify, or the tag can be here regardless. I want to identify also if they click, because usually when you put a link in your email, that link goes to somewhere, and a lot of times is either content or a product you want to sell, an affiliate link or something, and you want to know if the people are as interested or not. You know, if they clicked in that link, that most likely there's some kind of interest. And you know, if they didn't buy the product but they did click on the link, then you might send them more messages in the autoresponder. And this is very interesting. You can choose a specific link. If my message, for example, has 2 different links, I can choose one. So let's say that I want any link in this case. Actually, any link from a specific message. So again, it's the same message, but with any link in the message. So then we can go again and say, all right, this person opened the message and he clicked on the message. So what I do here is I call them engaged, because they've engaged with my emails. So we'll assign a tag here, and this tag is, again, like I showed you before, I have a tag called non-opener. There we go. So this person doesn't open my email. Let's see how you could simplify this even more. So basically, we know that these people are receiving these automations, right? And they would also be receiving the automations in this list. So what you can say is message open. So any autoresponder they receive after being copied to this list, which is immediately, they get copied immediately, they will be receiving 3 automated messages from this list plus another 2 from this list, which are these 2 from this list here. So when any newsletter is open, we don't want newsletter, we want autoresponder, and we put any autoresponder. I click to run multiple times because there's multiple autoresponders, and there is, I know that these autoresponder sequences take, in this case, 3 days. These ones take the first and the second day, and the other 3 I have take 3 days. So I will say, after 4 days, you can assume that this condition was not met. And then we'll tell them to tag this person as an opener, and if they don't open, to tag them as a non-opener. Again, this will affect other automations. They will be moved according to other lists according to this. Now, we can also go with link clicked. We know which links are here, but if we want to track a specific link, let's say we want to track a link in this in one of these messages, a specific link, because it's sending them to a product, or it's sending them to a video, or it's sending them to a blog post, and you know they clicked, you know they checked that blog post out, they have some interest in that subject. You can then engage them with that subject. If you want to do that, it's the way I showed you before. You just go to a specific message. In this case, we want, if they clicked any link in any autoresponder so far, if they clicked any link in any we're going to tag them again, and we're going to say this is an engaged subscriber. There we go. Now we can end this automation here, and this is just a tagging automation like I showed you that I do in the beginning. Or you'll have to click save and publish for this to start working, or you can continue this automation, and you can actually do, I'll show you how to actually send emails directly from this automation, and you don't even need to create the draft. If you have them, and I've done this in the past, for example, I have an automation, this GetResponse automation, and I want to, let me just delete all of this, and I'm going to show you another example. So, and this is how most people do the automation process. And maybe it's your favorite way to do it. Not for me. It's more confused. It's more work this way. But you can also, what I do is, if this automation complicates and I actually want to start emailing them from here instead of the autoresponders, what I do basically is I can tag them directly from here, and I can do all the process here. So let's say they entered this, and I want to send them a message, and this will do the exact same as the autoresponder we have here. We're gonna copy this process. So I want to send them a message, not here. I want send message from basic, and which message do I want to send? Because I don't create the draft, I can also go get the messages from the autoresponder, and that's what I want to do. I want to change that process from here to here. So we want to use automation layout from autoresponder, and now we can find here the GetResponse tutorial 1, and it will ask you if you want to create a copy of that automation. You'll say yes, I want a copy. It asks you if you want the same settings as the original list and all of that. Yes, I do. So here we have a copy of that message, and now we can send this message. And the way you create the same workflow as we had here, you'll just send this message. Now you need to tell the automation to wait 1 day, because the automation doesn't, you cannot set the days, the cycle. So you'll tell it wait for 1 day. You can change this for as many days as you want. If you want to wait longer, wait 1 day, and then add another one and send another message, which will also come from the autoresponder. And this is the second message, and we'll do the same. We'll copy. And what is the interest of moving it here? if I want to tag it and work with it more specifically. So what would I do here? Just remember that every time you want to send messages here, you need to tell it to wait, or the messages will be delivered instantly. So what could I do here? If the message is open, sometimes the welcome automations, for me, they're always delivered. But sometimes in some automations, what you can do is this. If this specific message coming from an automation specific, and this one is opened, then I want my automation to wait for 1 day and then send message 2. If they don't open, what I could do is send again the same message, and the right way to do this would be to send the same message with a different subject, or send a slightly different message if you want. Obviously, I don't have all of that here, but in my automation. But what I would do is I'm going to add the same message here. So just send them this GetResponse tutorial again. Important, we want to come here and we want to say how long we want them to wait until it assumes that it wasn't open. So let's wait 1 day. We do the same as here. So if they don't open, they receive this message again. And if they open, they receive the second message. We can do the same with the clicks. Let's say if they clicked, if I know that in this message I'm sending them a link to an affiliate product. So let's say if they clicked this link from this email, then I want to send them another message. And this message could be something very specific that I create just for this product. Or it can be even a message saying, hey, listen, this promotion is going to expire, so if you don't hurry, and we add some scarcity to our promotion here. So let's select the message. It doesn't really matter which one it will be. We'll take it from the automation, and let's say we'll send them this message. All right. If they didn't click, well, actually, it would make more sense to add them to the scarcity if they didn't click. So we make them click. In this case, I don't complicate so much. That's why I use the automation, because unless it's your product and you have it linked with GetResponse, you don't know if they bought it or not. You know that they clicked on it, and you will have to do it manually if it's an affiliate product. In the case of so you could just limit it here. But if you want to track the click and you want to do something, you can tag them as well. When anything in this thing is clicked, let's say we'll assign them a tag, and we'll tell them that this person is interested in assign the tag. And let's say this person is interested in GetResponse. You know, they're very interested in GetResponse. They even want to get a GetResponse account because they already clicked in the link here. So I want this. This is very interesting for me, and then I can create other automations, like I said before. All right, so that's basically how to create automations. If you want to create automation messages, you can also create them here. You just move from workflows to automation messages, and you create your own just for this purpose. You can use the beta message creator, which is really good. It's my favorite now, and it looks just like any newsletter you'd create. So that's it. That's how to create an automation. I told you a little bit about email marketing, and I will be adding to the description in this of this video a complete email marketing course, which will teach you what to send and when. So yeah, that's it. So if you want any more help with GetResponse, you'll find a lot of quick tutorials I have in this channel. You can also leave a comment below and ask me for any other help that you need with GetResponse, and I'll create another video or try to help you somehow. Thank you very much for watching once again, and bye. See you on the next one.